Survive the Nights have just added their first major feature to the game. This one is absolutely insane. It implements power over the entire island. All you'll need to do is head to the power plant, flip a few switches, and you'll be able to power the island in its entirety. No more need for pesky generators or going through and hunting down different generators to move to different locations, depending on what mission you're doing or where you want your base to be set up. Now, by default, the power is available on the island for the first 4 days of gameplay. Now it will switch off after day 4, and you will need to use a generator or power things manually. So with the power plant, there's no need for that. So let's jump in and check out how you can actually power the entire island. It's relatively simple to do. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more Survive the Nights tips and tricks. Now, it is important to note when powering the power plant, you're going to need to have at least raided something like a police station or a few gun stores, because there is a lot of enemies in here and it will take a lot to power this thing up. You're going to need to activate 4 buttons, which are inside 4 separate buildings, which are heavily populated with zombies. So you're going to need to bring with you some fuel, definitely a few circuit breakers, a couple of extension cords just to get things up and running and to be on the safe side, because it does depend on how you've got your spawn settings as to what will already be allocated in the various components inside the power plant itself. Now, there are 4 switches that we're going to need to activate, and those are these ones here. We've got one next to the cooling tower, one next to the right, and then 2 on the opposite side of the facility itself. You get all 4 of these up and running and come back to this here, which you can see on the screen now, and flip the switch. That will activate the power for the entire island. There. One in the back building there, one over here by this sort of substation, and then one in that building at the back corner where the smokestack is. So we've got 4 locations that we're going to need to hit. But before we hit those locations, we're going to need to have powered up the actual building itself so we can open this electronic gate here. There is no shortcuts and no ways in. You will need to get some power on these gates to get into the building itself. So as we can see here, we're going to need to put some breakers in, which you can take these off later if you want to, or if you need them for something else. Most things already have a decent chunk of breakers in, depending on your settings, so it will depend on that quite a bit. If you've got high spawn, then a lot of the stuff you're going to need is going to already be intact. Now, I'm assuming, like the prison and things like that, where they've got a failsafe, so you can't actually get stuck inside. If the power does go out, you'll still be able to get out. Right, the panel is activated. So first thing we're going to do is go into this building here, which is directly in front of the main gate. Make sure you're taking out as many of the zombies as you can, because they will follow you around through this. You don't want to be doing this at night either, because it's just going to make things a lot harder. Doing it sort of first thing in the morning, easiest way to get this done. So once you've powered the little outhouse and got the main gate open, you want to run straight on through. Like I say, make sure you've got a lot of weapons with you, because this will just make things a lot easier. I have cleared the path a little bit, so there won't be as many zombies on mine as there would yours, depending on your spawns as well, really. But go into the big building as soon as you come through, and what you want to do is just head straight up the stairs. There's not too many runners. Once again, it all depends on your settings, but you just want to go straight down to the back of the building, just follow it round, and go all the way up to the top of the stairs. When you're at the top of the stairs, you'll see the actual command box here, but we don't need that just yet. What you need is this little switch here, which will open the main gate, which is just down there. Now, from up here, you've got a bit of a better view. So, as you can see here, we've got the cooling tower on the back. We're in this little building here, so we need to go to those 2 on the right-hand side of the facility. So, that building there, alongside that big-ass building there, and then we finally come back round to that little building just there to turn on the final power supply. So, pretty damn good. Not too difficult at all. As long as you know where you're going and you've got a decent amount of weapons behind you, you'll be fine. So, come into here. As you come in the back door, you'll see the power generators right down the end there. The hard part about this is a lot of the time, the main doors are locked, so you have to go the long way around, which is a bit of a ball ache. But there we can see the back building is activated. Now we've got to go over to that one. Now, this building is big, but most of it's relatively open, so it's quite easy to get through. And you can see the big lights. If you follow the lights around, a lot of the time the power supply units are going to be near the lights. There we go. As you can see, the big red spinning light in the background, and a generator to boot as well. We might as well take that. Need one of those. Right, so that's number 2 up and running. This is the back. So now we need to go down, not the first, not the second, but it's on the 3rd little building. So the door all the way at the end, just follow it around the outside. There is fences, so you always need to make sure you've got the right gates, or sometimes you do have to go through the buildings. Depends which route you take. I find around the outside is relatively easy because there's not too many zombies running around there, so it's not that bad. So, as you can see, the red light is shining on that building there. But this one is probably the hardest one. So you're going to make sure you've got some med kits and all that good stuff, because you're going to have to go through this building to get to that section. So you're going to have to go through here and then into the sort of courtyard area. And then this will bring you to the doorway into this building here. So it is a bit of a pain in the arse, and if you've not lured all the zombies out, it can be a bit tricky to get through. There's a lot of them in there. But then as you come round to the back and flip the final switch, you'll see everything is lit up green. So you want to go back to the main entrance. So once you're back at the main entrance, just go straight back into the building that you started at. Just follow it round again and go up the stairs. A couple of zombies hanging around here. Bit of a pain, but never mind. They do respawn quite a bit in this whole section because it is quite a big area. So they just respawn because you're not in close enough proximity to stop the spawning. Right, so, and there we go. Activate the final one. Now the island is powered. Now, a cool thing you'll notice is as you go around all of the buildings, you'll see here, they've got all of the screens, they're all now lit up, which is really quite cool. This is also a really great place for mechanical stuff like circuit breakers, pull starts, screws, bolts. Loads and loads of good loot in this area. So it's definitely worth, once you've cleared out a lot of the zombies, grabbing as much of it as you can, because you're going to need this if you're not already sort of end game and you've come here relatively early. All of this stuff's going to be really great for you. Now you've got the power plant on, you can come to any building on the whole island. It's relatively simple. Normally you'd have to put a generator in here, but now you just interact with these. Turn the panel on, go round. As you can see, you've got your electric meter. Switch that on. Power isn't metered, so just head back round. That's on. Open up the door. Switch on the lights. Bish bash bosh. You now have power. It does come up with the symbol saying that you've got no power. I don't know why it does that. I think it is a bug. But as you can see, the lights are on. Somebody's home. We've clearly got some power running. You can switch the lights off. It is important to note, though, that zombies are attracted to light and sound. So if you are relatively new to the game, I highly doubt it's a good idea to sit up all night with all your lights on. I'd run around in your house with a head torch, unless you've got some decent sort of barricades, or you've got a really good base like a warehouse where all the internal lights are on, but there's no windows, so none of the zombies are going to see those lights. I'm pretty sure it reduces it, but I think some of the light does shine through, but it is still lesser than having all of the lights on in the building. But ladies and gents, that is how you get Survive the Night's power station up and running. Nice and central to the map, and you've supplied power to the whole of Black Island. We're going to do another video on how to raid a police station, how to get into the prison, and the military base as well. If that sounds good, you know what to do. Drop a like on the video and stick around for more Survive the Night's content. I've really enjoyed playing this update. It's loads of fun, and the quality of life improvements to the game are brilliant. I think I'm going to do a hardcore playthrough probably every sort of Saturday or Monday. Not 100% sure on that yet, but let me know what you guys fancy. Thank you for watching. I've been Wyatt, you've been awesome, and we'll see you in the next one.